day, kids! Welcome to the Unit 1 of English subject, which is entitled Caring and Sharing. Here is our lesson 1. Today, let's talk about the story entitled The Bird That Flies by Night. But before that, let's learn the new words that we can find in the story. The first word that we have is moss. Moss. Moss is a small flowerless green plant that lacks true roots, growing in damp habitats and reproducing by means of spores released from stalked capsules. Next word we have lodge. Lodge. Lodge is a small house at the gates of a park or in the grounds of a large house, occupied by a gatekeeper, gardener, or other employee. Next word we have salmon. Salmon. Salmon is a large edible fish that is a popular game fish, much prized for its pink flesh. Salmon mature in the sea but migrate to freshwater streams to spawn. Next word we have broiling. Broiling. Broiling, cooking by exposing food to direct radiant heat, either on a grill over live coals or below a gas burner or electric coil. Next word we have manito. Manito. Among some North American Indian people, a good or evil spirit as an object of reverence. Next word we have wrinkled. Wrinkled. Especially of fabric or the skin, having wrinkles or slight folds. Next word we have uprooted. Uprooted. It is something, especially a tree or plant, out of the ground. This time, let's learn about the bird that flies by night. Long ago, there lived in the middle of the forest a brave young hunter who had a cruel and selfish wife. She thought only of her own comfort and left all the chores to her husband's mother, who was old and nearly blind. Now there came a winter of great hunger throughout the land where the children of the great Manito lived. Day after day, the hunter cut through the ice and caught nothing. The only food he could find was bark and moss and sometimes a handful berries. The hunter shared with the two women whatever bit of food he could gather, though it was hardly enough for one. Day by day, the hunter and his mother grew thinner and weaker from lack of food. But the selfish wife was well and strong as she had been in the days of plenty. Sometimes the old mother awoke at night, thinking she smelled fish cooking, but she could not see, and so she believed it was a dream. One night, the mother awoke to hear the wife moving quietly about the fire. There was the good smell of fish broiling over the coals. "Give me a bit of fish, daughter, for I am starving," pleaded the old woman. "There is no fish, old one," answered the wife. "You are dreaming." "I do not dream, for I feel the heat of the fire and smell the fish broiling. Give me but a small piece," said the mother, holding out her hand. The cruel wife laughed as she dropped a live coal into the wrinkled hand. The old woman cried herself to sleep, feeling pain and hunger in her stomach. What happened to the hunter and his mother? What about his wife? What did the old woman sometimes smell during the night? What did she believe it was? Was she correct? What did she find out? Was she given some of by the hunter's wife? What did the hunter's wife do instead? Do you think the old woman would tell her son the incident? Okay, for that questions, let's continue. The next morning, the mother told her son what she suspected. All day he stayed about the lodge, silent and watchful. That night he only pretended to be asleep. When a cloud darkened the face of the moon, he saw his wife slip out of the lodge. The hunter followed softly and watched while his wife cut a branch from a dead tree that had been uprooted. She carried the branch to the river and held it over the hole in the ice, repeating several mysterious words. The hunter repeated the words over and over to himself so that he could remember them. Soon, salmon came flashing through the water, leaping at the magic branch. The wife caught two salmon and hurried back to the lodge. The hunter was there before her, pretending to be asleep as before. Then the hunter went out, and he too caught salmon with a dead branch by using the magic words. At daybreak, the wife awoke and saw her husband and his mother enjoying the feast. She ran into the forest, thinking to escape punishment, but her husband followed swiftly after her. When all her strength was spent after running away, the wife stretched out her arms to save herself from falling. Her arms suddenly became wings, and her deerskin dress became feathers, for the great Manito had changed her into an owl. Now she hunts her food by night and hides by day. Sometimes you hear her in the night calling like this, "Woohoo!"